Hey Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever.
Today, I'll be talking about Gossip Girl. On the surface, Gossip Girl seems like any other teen soap opera. And if you're just paying attention to the sex, lies, and endless relationship drama, you might miss some of the other subtle delights of the show, one of which being its incredible art direction, which is something you don't often find in other series of the same genre. If you pay attention, you can notice the great orchestration of wardrobe, lighting, and color to create some incredible scenes like these. The beautiful costumes you just saw are the work of stylist Eric Damon, and his designs on the show are especially refreshing right now at a time when the costumes in a lot of American media are so uninspired, or even exactly the same. Seriously? Gossip Girl was a huge landmark for pop culture because it helped change the way people think about fashion. Unlike many series, the wardrobes really reflect who the characters are and give their personalities an extra layer of depth. One of the testaments to Eric Damon's skill as a stylist is the fact that 10 years later, the outfits still look just as good as they did when the show first aired, which you can't often say for series like these. I don't know how anyone could watch this show and see these outfits and then not feel inspired to upgrade their wardrobe. I could talk for a long time about all the fashion choices for each character, but for the purpose of this video, I'll be focusing on one of the most memorable characters from the show.
I'm Chuck Bass.
This is $1 Million Playboy Chuck Bass, and he's dressed like this because he's a $1 Million Playboy.
Chuck's style is so important because it helped show men that it was okay to dress in an elegant and flamboyant way.
I best go put on something special.
American men especially tend to shy away from clothing that's too colorful or unconventional, which is something that you don't find in Europe or Asia. Most of the time, in Hollywood movies and Western TV series, the male characters have such dull style that they don't give men much to aspire to.
Things are getting a little dull around here.
Chuck's fashion totally goes against that trend. His character emphasizes that you can still retain a dominant and masculine personality while also putting effort into your look and keeping the appearance of a dandy. In fact, the way Chuck dresses isn't really new. His style is reminiscent of the way lots of men used to dress. He dresses like a gentleman. In spite of his occasional bad behavior, Chuck is ultimately very romantic, thoughtful, and considerate of the people he cares about. He has a soft side that matches his elegant style. A big part of appealing to women is learning to access the feminine aspects of your personality and displaying a softer and more elegant side of yourself. You can see this exemplified by many fictional seducers in books and movies. It's rare to see men portrayed as being attractive without also showing them being cultured and elegant. In the classic Japanese novel Tale of Genji, the protagonist wears perfume and recites poetry, letting his feminine side show to the women he's pursuing. In the famous tango scene from Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino's character shows that elegant side through dance. And Chuck Bass communicates elegance through fashion. His sophisticated sartorial taste is totally congruent with his overall personality. While other characters in Gossip Girl often appear awkward or inhibited,
That was a joke, or an attempted one.
Next question.
Chuck is always quick-witted and sharp.
Let's play a game.
I'd say strip poker, but I don't have my car.
His language is precise and witty.
People like me don't write books or written about.
He speaks boldly and confidently.
I'm Chuck Bass, the love of her life. Anyone else is just a waste of time.
Likewise, his wardrobe reflects that confidence. Like a peacock, Chuck likes to draw attention to himself with bold and offbeat outfits. His wardrobe is a perfect reflection of the kind of person he is. So, what are the keys to Chuck's style? First, he wears more interesting pieces than all of the other characters in the show. When compared with women's clothing, menswear offers very few pieces to choose from. Most guys just opt for jeans and a t-shirt, maybe khakis or dress shirts if they're feeling adventurous. It's quite rare to even see men who aren't working in an office pulling off full suits in a stylish way. But Chuck's outfits manage to do that. His wardrobe incorporates a number of pieces you almost never see guys wearing, and that have fallen out of favor over the years, like waistcoats, sweater vests, ascots, bright colored blazers, bow ties, and more. If you can work even a few of those into your wardrobe, then you'll already be outdressing the vast majority of men. Second, he makes great use of color. Learning how to pair colors is one of the harder things for men to figure out when improving their style. Chuck's outfits follow some very simple but highly effective color principles that you can easily incorporate into your outfits. For example, he makes use of high contrasting colors to give his outfits a harder punch, and he often does that through the use of accent pieces like ties or pocket squares. These are small pieces with bold colors that make the outfit stand out just enough to pull your attention in, but not so much that it's harsh on the eyes. Third, he mixes the modern and traditional. Chuck's wardrobe is great for guys to model their style after because it's fresh and unique while also being very traditional and familiar. It's unique enough that you'll be pushing your boundaries, but not so exotic that it looks forced or try-hard. Chuck's outfits all have their roots in traditional European menswear, so they look familiar to us. But what really makes them interesting is that there's often something unexpected or modern paired with that same traditional look. When outfits are too experimental or bizarre, they won't be as visually appealing to the majority of people. If you anchor your outfits in the familiar, then your experimental choices will be easier for people to appreciate. And finally, don't be afraid to be bold. If you've never worn a waistcoat or a blazer before, then it's going to feel strange the first time you wear them out in public. But don't let that stop you. One of the keys to improving your fashion is to push your comfort zone. If you want to stand out, then you need to stop blending in. And that can be a bit scary in the beginning. But just remember, as Oscar Wilde said, you can never be overdressed or overeducated. And I think Chuck would agree.